Hello, enchanters and enchantresses, young wizards and witches, creatures of all shapes and sizes. Welcome back to our magical realm of stories. You've tuned into Enchanted Pages, where we flip through the unseen chapters of the extraordinary, unraveling tales that dance on the edge of reality and fantasy. I'm your host, your guide, your fellow adventurer, ready to embark on today's journey. So buckle up, grab a cup of your favorite potion, and let your imagination take flight. Now gather around, sit tight, for today, we have a story unlike any other. A story that reminds us that magic can be found in the most unexpected places. Once upon a bright, sunny day in the friendly town of Weatherby, there lived a young boy named Eliot. Eliot was a bright, curious child, with sparkling green eyes full of mischief and an insatiable thirst for adventure. He lived in a house at the edge of the town, next to a bustling market where vendors sold a rainbow of vegetables, fruits, and goods from all over the kingdom. One ordinary school day, Eliot was making his way home, his backpack filled to the brim with books, scribbled notes, and the day's homework. As he passed the market, he watched a robust food delivery truck unload fresh turnips and carrots at the greengrocer's. And then something quite extraordinary happened. As the truck groaned and rumbled back onto the road, a small, ancient leather-bound book tumbled off the back. It landed on the cobblestone road with a soft thud, pages fluttering gently in the afternoon breeze. Eliot, ever the curious boy, hurried over to the fallen tome. The book was a work of art, its leather cover worn and smooth to touch, with an enticing aura of mystery that drew him in. Glancing around to ensure no one was watching, Eliot picked up the book and quickly tucked it under his arm, promising himself to explore its contents when he reached home. Back at home, Eliot darted past his tricycle, his comic books, and his action figures, his heart pounding with excitement. He dashed to his room, flung his backpack onto his bed, and locked the door. Just as he pulled out the mysterious book, he heard the familiar hum of his mother's car pulling into the driveway. He breathed a sigh of relief. He had made it just in time. Now safe in his room, Eliot carefully opened the book. Its pages were yellowed with age, and the air suddenly filled with a sweet, dusty smell. In the center of the book was a note with strange markings that looked like nothing he had ever seen before. And then, with a soft popping noise, something quite magical happened. A small green goblin with a gnarled walking stick and twinkling blue eyes appeared beside him. He introduced himself as Griswold and proceeded to unravel a tale of ancient magic and timeless friendship. Griswold spoke of his gnome friend, Twinklespark, who had been cursed by an evil witch and locked under Eliot's garden shed. The witch had cast her spell 500 years ago, back when the world was a haven for magical beings and extraordinary adventures. Griswold handed Eliot a magical phrase, a string of words that would open a portal to a magical forest, the home to gnomes and mushroom people. He told Eliot that within this forest he could find a grand gnome tree, a living library that held ancient manuscripts. Among those manuscripts there would be one that could break the curse and set Twinklespark free. Eliot lay awake that night, the goblin's tale spinning in his head. The following morning he made up his mind. He invited his best friend Amelia, a fiery, adventurous girl with red curls and freckles, over to his house. Amelia was the only one he could trust with this secret, the only one who would understand. Once Amelia arrived, they crept into the kitchen, clasped each other's hand tightly, and recited the magical phrase. Suddenly, a brilliant portal, swirling with a kaleidoscope of colors, appeared before them. Holding their breath, they stepped through the portal. The moment they stepped into the enchanted forest, they were struck by its beauty. Towering trees, their trunks gnarled and covered with lush, vibrant moss, reached up towards the sky as if to touch the cotton candy clouds. The air was alive with the twittering of unseen creatures and the enchanting whispers of the ancient forest. From a distance, they could see tiny golden lights flickering and darting among the undergrowth, the mushroom people. The mushroom people, curious about these new visitors, approached them. Eliot and Amelia explained their mission, and the mushroom people, recognizing the weight of their task, eagerly guided them to the gnome tree. This tree was nothing like any tree the children had ever seen. It was enormous and had a certain gravitas about it. It was ancient, wise, and kind. Eliot and Amelia began their climb, their small hands gripping the moss-covered bark, their laughter echoing through the vast forest. Their journey was a spectacle of beautiful forest creatures and breathtaking views of the enchanted forest. As they reached the top of the tree, they were greeted by a sight that took their breath away. A library of old, untouched, dust-layered books. In the heart of this magical library, they found the book Griswold described, an emerald tome with a depiction of a gnome holding a key. Realizing the importance of their discovery, they carefully picked it up and descended the tree, their hearts filled with hope. With the precious tome in hand, they hurried back through the magical forest, back to their own world. Once home, they opened the book and recited the incantation. As they spoke the ancient words, a light shimmered into existence. The light danced and twirled like a wisp, leading them to the garden shed. Inside the shed, they found a hidden inscription on the floorboards. With all their might, they tried to lift the heavy wooden board, but it wouldn't budge. Just as they were about to give up, Amelia noticed a rusty latch hidden in a corner. She tugged at it, and to their surprise the floor swung open, revealing a dark, narrow staircase that spiraled down into the unknown. Eliot and Amelia exchanged a quick glance before stepping onto the staircase, their hands tightly holding onto each other. They descended into the cool, dimly lit underground chamber. At the center of the room was a crystal sphere, and inside it, a gnome. It was Twinklespark, a small figure radiating a soft, warm light. They recited the freeing incantation from the emerald tome, their voices ringing clear in the underground chamber. The crystal sphere hummed, then shattered into a million pieces, releasing Twinklespark. He blinked at Eliot and Amelia, his eyes twinkling with gratitude. Twinklespark thanked Eliot and Amelia, his joy reverberating throughout the chamber. Before returning to the enchanted forest, he granted them a gift, the sight. This magical ability would allow them to see the wonders of the world even in the darkest of nights and during times when their hearts overflowed with questions. Eliot and Amelia emerged from the underground chamber, their eyes sparkling with newfound magic. They looked at their world with fresh eyes, seeing magic and beauty in the everyday, and thus they carried on with their lives, going to school, finishing homework, and occasionally journeying to the enchanted forest. For now, they bore the gift of sight and the knowledge of a world beyond theirs, a world of goblins and gnomes, of mushroom people and magic, of love, courage, and the power of friendship. And so, their childhood became an enchanting mix of the mundane and the magical, their hearts forever bound to the magic of the enchanted forest. Despite the normalcy of school days and home chores, Eliot and Amelia's lives were now filled with an extraordinary secret. They would often find themselves whispering in hushed tones about magical creatures, drawing up imaginary maps, or even reading under the covers about enchantments and spells. Their bond grew stronger, strengthened by their shared secret and the extraordinary adventures they experienced together. At times, they would sit in their hideout, the old garden shed, retelling the story of their first magical adventure, each memory as fresh as if it had happened yesterday. They would laugh at the memory of their initial disbelief, wonder at the magnificent creatures they met, and marvel at the thought of Twinklespark, now free and thriving in the enchanted forest. But their adventures didn't stop there. Now, with the gift of sight, they could perceive things they had never noticed before. The world around them was filled with magic hidden in plain sight. They would often see pixies dancing in the moonlight, or water nymphs playfully splashing in the creek on hot summer days. There were many times when they helped a lost unicorn find its way back to the enchanted forest, or whispered comforting words to the old willow tree that missed the melody of the nightingale. Their school assignments became filled with tales of magical creatures, much to the bemusement of their teachers. But to their classmates, Eliot and Amelia's stories were mesmerizing, opening a doorway to a world of imagination and wonder. They became the unseen guardians of the magical world, ensuring harmony between the two realms. They helped bridge misunderstandings, solved magical mysteries, and stood up for creatures that couldn't defend themselves. Yet, they were always careful never to reveal their secret, for they knew the importance of keeping the magical world safe from those who wouldn't understand. As the seasons changed and the years passed, Eliot and Amelia grew, and so did their understanding of their unique gift. Even when they were far apart at different colleges, their bond remained unbroken. The gift of sight guided them, reminding them of their incredible journey and the magical world that existed alongside their own. Eliot pursued his love for books and became a renowned author, enchanting the world with tales of bravery and magic, inspired by his own experiences. Amelia became an artist, her canvas capturing the beauty and essence of magical beings in their natural habitat, her work always having a surreal, otherworldly quality. And so, in their own ways, they continued to be guardians of the unseen world, sharing its magic subtly with those around them. They walked the fine line between reality and fantasy, the ordinary and the extraordinary, a testament to their unique childhood adventure that forever changed their lives. And that, dear friends, marks the end of today's magical journey. A journey through enchanted forests and gnome libraries, a journey of courage and friendship, of magic in the mundane. A tale of two ordinary children, Eliot and Amelia, who lived extraordinarily magical lives. Remember, magic exists all around us. Sometimes all we need to do is believe and look a little closer. I hope you enjoyed our story time here at Enchanted Pages, where we believe in the power of tales to sprinkle a little magic into our lives. If you enjoyed today's tale, don't forget to leave your magical mark. Hit that like button and subscribe to our channel for more enchanted tales. Until we meet again in our next adventure, keep your eyes open, your heart brave, and your mind curious. This is your host, signing off from Enchanted Pages, reminding you that you are the author of your own magical tale. Stay enchanted, dear friends. Goodbye and sweet dreams.